Recording.
We the people hold these truths to be self-evident, that knowledge is power. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a lack of knowledge in the United States when it comes to firearms. In a war of words, battles for or against firearms, there seems to be just this idiotic spewing of words. Growing up, we never had guns in the house. I was afraid of guns. But today, I'm an owner of 2 rifles, and I would love to explore more, and I'd love to study rifles, firearms of all kinds. So what changed? It all changed just going skeet shooting with my buddy. He just dragged me out there, and I had a blast. And then my uncle taught me how to shoot guns, how to be safe. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, we shouldn't be afraid of firearms, because there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And what causes fear is a lack of knowledge. When you walk down a dark alleyway, you're not afraid because you know what's behind every corner. You're afraid because you don't. Gun control advocates tend to use words and phrases that instill fear. Ghost gun, high caliber. They like to show videos of shotguns shooting watermelons, calling them AR-15s. And they like to say things like, our grandfathers don't know what it's like to be shot at by an AR-15. So is an AR-15 high caliber? Well, when we look at an AR-15, this is your standard scary black rifle. A 5.56 NATO round is fired out of it at roughly 45 rounds per minute if it's the semi-automatic variant. And if we compare that to a .308 round, which is this second one right here, which is used by many hunters and just sportsmen alike, and these are recommended to shoot black bear and elk. 5.56 can't do that. But I don't hear a lot of people saying we need to take away M1A rifles, but that's probably because they look like this. Regular hunting rifle, not as scary. So now let's think about it, and let's compare it to what our grandfathers used in World War II to fight the Germans and the Japanese. They used the M1 Garand. The M1 Garand fires a 30-06. 223 5.56, same round, versus a 30-06. Look how much bigger that is. Now, our grandfathers don't know what it's like to be shot by AR-15s. Well, you're right. They got shot by this. This is your 223 5.56 round, fired out of an AR-15. This is an 8mm Mauser, fired out of the MG42, which fired at just 1,500 rounds per minute versus 45. Now let's look at some numbers. The CDC, Center for Disease Control, reported in 2015 that there were 36,252 firearm-related deaths. That's a lot of dead people, right? But only 12,979 of those deaths were homicides. And homicides don't just include senseless murder. Homicide includes self-defense and police-related shootings. So only 36% of all firearm-related deaths in 2015 were homicide. 1,441 were accidental deaths. People just accidentally shooting themselves, accidentally shooting their friends. There's been 2 accidental-related deaths within this past year here in Brunswick. And it is estimated that 70% of all of these accidental deaths could be prevented with safety and storage and knowing the 4 firearm rules of safety. Now the one that gets me, the one that just blows my mind, 22,018 suicides in 2015 by firearm. 60% of all firearm-related deaths in 2015 were suicide. These kids are as young as 14 years old, killing themselves. And how many of those could have been prevented? They say 22 veterans every day commit suicide. How many of those could have been prevented? So in conclusion, I would like for all of y'all to research yourself, whether you are pro-gun or against gun. It is okay to not be a gun person. But a gun is like a cold snake. Whether you're afraid of it or not, you stay away from it out of respect. And if you are daring enough to pick up a snake, you handle it carefully so it does not bite. We cannot any longer blindly repeat after the NRA or David Hogg. And we the people must find these truths to be self-evident, that knowledge is power, and knowledge will eliminate fear. Thank you.